So in this lesson, we are going to do a deep dive into the song Brown Eyed Women by the Grateful Dead. So in this, we will go through that intro part that I just played, plus the chords to everything. So the verse, the chorus, and the bridge. Then finally, we'll talk about what soloing over this might look like. Now, you can also see on my YouTube channel, there's another video where I do like a jam analysis style lesson on the Brown Eyed Women solo from Cornell 77. Go check that out. It's pretty applicable here, obviously. But if you want to just get some soloing tips, stay here for that. And yeah, that'll be it. So this is how to play that intro part. Those 4 notes, you're starting out with a slide into the 6th fret of the D string, then playing the 4th, 5th, and 6th fret on the G string. And then you're doing a little slide back and forth, right? So you play this note twice more. And on this one, you slide up to the 8th fret, then back down, then to the 4th fret. Then you play this again, twice. 6th fret once. Then you play the 6th fret of the D string, slide down to the 4th fret, and play the 2nd fret of the D string. Right? Then you play this one more time, and then do this little back and forth thing. So I'm doing a hammer on from 2 to 4 on the 5th string, then hitting the 2nd fret of the D string twice, then hitting it one more time, 4th fret of the A string, and then the 6th fret of the D string. I'm going to play the whole thing slowly right now because I just went through that very quickly, but this is what it sounds like. Right? That's it. At a faster tempo, it sounds like this. Right? And that brings you into the verse. This right here is chromatic movement from the 2nd fret to the 4th fret of the 5th string and the 3rd string. But on the 3rd string, you're playing 2 frets higher than you are on the 5th string. So what I'm doing, I'm playing this with my pointer finger and my pinky, but you can do it with your pointer and your ring. See that? So they move together. And that leads you into the first chord of the song. I do it with my pinky because my pinky is playing that note on this first chord. So, like that. Now, I'm going to go through the chords very quickly and put them up on the screen so you can see them to save some time for the soloing portion. For the verse, you've got a C sharp minor, to an E, to a B, to an A, back to the C sharp minor, to an E again, this time to an A, then down to an E. That's it for the verse. So for the chorus, you've got a B, down to an A, an E, B, A, E, C sharp minor, then F sharp minor, A, and an E. And then you're back into a verse. If those bar chords don't make sense, and if the intro part doesn't make sense, and you don't know where those notes might come from, I highly recommend checking out the jam band oriented guitar lessons that I have on my platform called Tough Club. There are over 70 long lessons like this one, but a lot of them focus more on technique and how you can learn a song and immediately pull things from it without being so confused about the origin of what things are. So, for example, you would know that these notes come from the E pentatonic scale, more specifically in the D shape. right? And the theory is easy to understand, I promise. If you want a more hands-on approach from me and you want lessons, you can also do that there too. So just check out the link in the description of this video and you can book an intro call where we talk about your guitar playing on the phone and I build you a plan, which gives you access to book lessons from me. Anyway, back to the lesson. We've now gone through the verse, the chorus. Now all we need is the bridge. The bridge is pretty simple. You got a B minor to an A to an E, same thing. Now you got this descending C sharp minor, B, A, G sharp minor, F sharp minor, to an A, to an E. So at the end there, it's literally walking down all of the chords in the key of E major, aside from the diminished chord. The Nashville number system is really helpful for that. Again, there's a lesson in Tough Club on that, as well as one on all of these chord shapes. But that's it. Those are all the chords in this song. There's a little tag in the last chorus, but none of the chords are new. So now that we've completed the rhythm portion of this, let's talk about the soloing. So for soloing, I'm just going to set this up how I typically would, but only show it to you in one spot. So first off, you got to know what the key is. It's the key of E, right? We got a C sharp minor, we got an E, we got an A, B. All of those chords are in the key of E. That doesn't make sense. Nashville number system. So knowing that it's in the key of E, I will play an E major scale. Now that I've determined that, I've given myself a key and a scale to play in, I can solo. If that scale doesn't make sense, by the way, you can strip it down to the pentatonic. But you could also go to any Tough Club lesson on the pentatonic scale, the major pentatonics, the major scales, and that will make sense, not only for this position, but also for other ones moving across the neck. So you have your scale, you have your key, you have your chords. The most helpful thing to do is now combine all of that stuff together. You've already sorted with the key and with the scale, but now you need to add in the chords. So there are 4 main chords in the verse: a C sharp minor, an E, a B, and an A. I know that there's a full chord shape for a C sharp minor right here. Therefore, I can pull out this triad. I know that there's a full E chord right here. Therefore, I can pull out this triad. I know that there's a B chord here. So I've got that triad. And there's an A chord here. So I've got that triad. What I've now done is given myself a set of 3 notes for each chord that I can target as that chord comes in, and it's all in these 4 frets. So this is what that might sound like. So what I'm thinking there is, and this is probably not the easiest example to start with because the chords are moving kind of quickly, but for intermediate advanced players who know triads and know chord shapes, you should be able to see kind of what I'm doing here and where I'm pulling these from. But what I was thinking is, okay, the pacing of the song is pretty quick. So when I'm playing, I kind of want to follow that a little bit. Still have, unique phrases and make it stand out from the progression, but kind of follow the quicker tempo of it. Now within that, I want to be thinking about the chord shapes at all times and those triads. As the chord changes, I want to be able to hit a note that agrees with that chord change. There are lessons on Tough Club very, very specifically on this. There's one called Keeping Up with the Chord Changes, and there are tons on triads that'll be helpful for this. But so I'm always thinking about that. I'm playing in E major, and that's kind of my foundation. And then when a chord changes, I'm just jumping to one of those notes that I had predetermined would fit well with it based on my knowledge of triads. So you can go at this in levels. You could play in the basic pentatonic scale and that would work fine. You can play in the major scale. That would work maybe a little bit better, give you some more color in your solo. Then you can add on triads. That will be helpful because now you're starting to target chords. And then you could do it all over the neck. And that's, in my opinion, the best way to go about it. So again, if you want to learn how to do that and expand this outside of just this one area, or that area didn't make sense in the first place, or you want one-on-one lessons from me, check out the links in the description. But otherwise, I'll see you in the next lesson.